we're looking at the issue of structural change, we've got to listen to the community. Consultation, while it's getting a bit of a dirty word because sometimes it's either overused or it is it's a very superficial thing that some groups do, and it's simply giving lip service to involving the community. Good, true, valid consultation is the eyes and ears of social policy too, because it will, that you will find through good consultation the concepts, not only you're not looking for solutions, but people jump to solutions, but if you get the concepts right, what are the issues, where people are coming from, you've got a powerhouse of social issues and social policy development that can be used properly. That's what we've done and still doing in the mental health area, and maybe Jill can mention a bit about that, but the 5 levels of consultation that we've been involved in various groups, as well as consumers, and advocates, or professions and workforce people, as well as managers and Aboriginal community. The response you get, while different, does come together, and we can talk a little bit about how we've gone about that. So, values, method, reflection, evaluation, for me are crucial, absolutely crucial fundamentals to good social work and good social policy development. And the joined upness of the social problems and the joined upness of the solutions or the response to those problems is crucial, is absolutely crucial. In all this, and I think what we're trying to do, and what I'm very conscious as a social worker, sort of pushing boundaries a bit in a lot that we're doing in terms of responding to social issues in South Australia, and trying to develop and say to the profession and social workers, here is a new way, and I think we're trying to, in a sense, well, I'm trying to say this is, I believe it can be empowering to our whole profession, quite empowering what we're doing in social inclusion, because it's fundamentally good social work, fundamentally good social work. One of the steps, and it's quite a unique step that we do, is to involve Treasury. We don't sort of just do our plan and then my job is to go to the Premier and to the government ministers and try to convince them of it and whatever. It's actually a lot more to it than that. And what we do is say, well, how much is this going to cost if we do it this way or we do it that way? And therefore, let's work with the Treasury officials right from the beginning as well. Let's bring them in. Let's try to convince them. Let's try to convince them that what we're doing is the right thing to do. And that can be quite helpful because many of those officials can say also, like the evaluation people, well, if you do it that way, rather than this way, it's going to work a lot better. We'll be able to find this money and whatever, and we'll put this to cabinet and we'll see if we can get that through. So it really becomes, we talk about social inclusion, but in the process, you try to be inclusive. You try to bring people in. And it's a good old social work technique, isn't it? To bring people in. Don't have them out there and sort of wondering what you're doing and waiting to hit you on the head when you put your plan up. Try to bring them in. And that I think is having some major benefit for our work. And people know we're not going to come up with plans that will never be funded and will never see the light of day. I think the strategy, more and more, is to find a way through. Find a way through. It means compromise. It means, through innovation, all sorts of things, but at least get something on the table and keep moving. Build momentum. These are the sorts of skills that we're really trying to bring. Now, I've gone on far too long, but these are the areas that I find incredibly important and powerful in social policy development. When Connie asked me to come today, I jumped at it because the social work profession is so important for me. And I would like to see in Adelaide a little more focus within the profession where, because I'm aware that, particularly younger social workers, they get caught up in some agencies that narrow the focus so much. And in a sense, sort of put so many limits around people that social workers, young social workers, are working out of silos, and in a sense are forced to work out of silos. And I'd really like to see over the next few years if we can just raise these issues a bit more, and if we can be a little more helpful or to advocate on their behalf or whatever, to try to find ways of seeing that the jobs within the profession are a little more enhancing of the people in those jobs and of good social work. Because I think some of the job design that has gone on, some of it pretty ad hoc, some of the job design is not really good in itself, in the structure of those jobs, in delivery. And social workers, I know some young social workers who feel quite disempowered in those situations. Now, it may be just my view, but it's something that I think we could work on a bit, because right from the beginning of this state's history, in white settlement, there's been really good people who have helped develop the social work profession in South Australia, and I would love to see it now move to another level. I think we could do that, but it would be important then to get more cohesiveness within the profession, where I still see a lot of people in satellites out there who have no real connection and support, and so we need to do something about that. Anyway, having said that, thank you very much for listening to me as I meander through what would now be virtually 35 years in social work, a time that I've loved, and I think I've still got a bit more energy to give. But thank you.